Jamais. Ah, bueno, saludos. Check. Ya, oficial.
Let's switch off our mics, honorable councillors.
Let me see. Switch off the line.
Good morning, honorable councillors.
Morning, Madam Speaker.
Morning, Speaker.
Morning, Madam Speaker.
Morning,
Madam Speaker.
Morning, Madam Speaker.
I'm going to request the Secretariat to start reading names of the councillors to confirm their availability. Secretariat.
Good morning, Madam Speaker, councillors, managers, and directors. Councillor BMJ. Councillor Ngweti.
Morning, Speaker, and all the councillors present.
Councillor Rapetwa PA. Councillor Mamabolo TJ.
Tobela, present, Speaker.
Councillor Harry MB.
Morning, Honorable Speaker. I'm present.
Councillor Pema J.
Good morning, Councillor Pema present.
Councillor Mashalani FZ. Councillor Moloto TD.
Honorable Speaker, Councillor Mlotluona.
Councillor Mwakamedi MA.
Khotsong Mwagamedi present.
Councillor Mashangwani PR.
Morning, Speaker.
Councillor Malope SJ. Madam Speaker, can members mute their mics because they are interrupting my gadget?
Yes, honorable councillors, please mute your mic.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Councillor Shadung RV.
Good morning, Councillor Shadung present.
Councillor Mwasheng LH.
Speaker, Councillor Mashem present.
Councillor Mulepo MM.
Councillor Mulepo MM present.
Councillor Shadung MA.
Ausheni Kokwan Speaker, Councillor Shadung MA present.
Councillor Baloi KJ.
Councillor Baloi present.
Councillor Boloro N.
Honorable Speaker, Councillor Boloko present.
Councillor Buotha AH.
Good morning, Madam Speaker. Councillor Bueta present.
Councillor Chidi TDR.
Good morning, Speaker. I'm present.
Councillor Choshi PP.
Councillor Choshi present, Madam Speaker. How are you?
Councillor Clark SE.
Good morning, Councillor Clark present.
Councillor Dekhali SJ.
Morning, Madam Speaker. I'm present.
Councillor Hamise HL.
Morning, Speaker. Councillor Hamise present.
Councillor Hine PJ. Councillor Hopani ME. Councillor Joubert FJ.
Morning, Speaker present.
Councillor Kala SSMG.
Present, Honorable Speaker.
Councillor Khanyao SM.
Morning, Speaker. Councillor Khanyo present. Thank you.
Councillor Komape MP. Councillor Komape MP.
Present, Madam Speaker.
Councillor Leballo MM. Councillor Lorodi NP. Councillor Lephalale LF. Councillor Lawrence RF.
Good morning, Honorable Speaker. I am present.
Thank you. Councillor Lorodi
Morning,
NP.
Speaker. Councillor Logodi is present. Speaker, Councillor Logodi is present.
Noted. Councillor Lebe HRA.
Morning, Speaker. I'm present.
Councillor Mavasa WM. Councillor Mavote MG.
Councillor Maboto gone.
Councillor Matlaji MS.
Morning, Speaker. Councillor Maslaji present.
Councillor Mahopo MS. Councillor Mailula KE.
Present, Speaker.
Councillor Makafola MD. Councillor Malaji KM. Councillor Malevana CC. Councillor Mamadi E.
Good morning, Madam Speaker. Councillor Mamadi present. Thank you.
Noted, Councillor Mamadi. Councillor Max HF.
Councillor Mawasa present, Speaker.
Thank you, Councillor Mavasa. Councillor Max HF. Councillor Mashabela AS. Councillor Matoho K.
Towela, Speaker. Councillor Mato is present.
Councillor Mate MV.
Morning, Speaker. Councillor Mate present.
Councillor Matonzi MT.
Councillor Matonzi present, Speaker. Thank you.
Councillor Mudiba MD. Councillor Mudiba MT. Councillor Moroboya ML.
Tobela, Speaker. Councillor Mroboya present.
Councillor Mutabeng DM. Councillor Mutlapa Masui E.
Morning, Speaker. I'm in attendance.
Councillor Mukwana TK.
Present.
Councillor Mokhotwa TS. Councillor Mokobo DT. Councillor Mokobo DMV.
Morning, Speaker. Present.
Councillor Mokome MS.
Morning, Speaker. Councillor Mokome present.
Councillor Mulepo FJ.
Morning, Speaker. Councillor Mulepo FJ present.
Councillor Muloto MH.
Morning, Speaker. Councillor Moloto present. Thank you.
Councillor Murifi TJ.
Councillor Murifi present.
Councillor Murutoba FM. Councillor Mushweu PE.
Morning, Speaker. I'm present.
Councillor Mutapo JE.
Present.
Councillor Mutapo LM. Councillor Mutiba TP. Councillor Mpilo MD.
Morning, Speaker. Councillor Mpilo MD present.
Councillor Mutabine MR.
Morning, Honorable Speaker. Councillor Mutawini present.
Councillor Murwa TPK.
Councillor Mura TPK present, Honorable Speaker.
Councillor Nchabeleng MM.
Councillor Nchabeleng MM present, Madam Speaker.
Councillor Ntlemo TJ.
Morning, Speaker. Councillor Ntlemo present.
Councillor Piedi MR.
Morning, Madam Speaker. Councillor Piedi MR present.
Councillor Port.
Councillor Mala is present.
Thank you, Councillor Malachi.
Also, Councillor Makafuna, Speaker.
Councillor Makafuna is also present.
Noted. Councillor Otto RT.
Speaker, Councillor Mahopo gona.
You are noted, Councillor Mahopo. Can councillors mute their mics so that we continue with our meeting? Thank you. Councillor Poshoko MS.
Good morning, Madam Speaker. Councillor Poshoko present.
Councillor Pukubye D.
Morning, Speaker. Councillor Pukubye present.
Councillor Pretorius M.
Morning, Speaker. I'm present. Thank you.
Councillor Radise CM. Councillor Alfatani MJ.
Morning, Honorable Speaker. Councillor Alfatan MJ present.
Councillor Ramakulu MM.
Morning, Madam Speaker. Councillor Ramakulu present. Thank you.
Councillor Ramapakela MF. Councillor Ramaselele MS.
Madam Speaker, Councillor Ramaselele present.
Councillor Ramorasui MJ.
Councillor Ramarasu present, Speaker. Thanks.
Councillor Rapila MP.
Councillor Rapila MP present, Madam Speaker.
Councillor Rapila TR. Councillor Razuma M. Councillor Retus HJ.
Good morning, Madam Speaker. There is an apology from Councillor Retis.
Noted. Councillor Sabati SA.
Good morning, Honorable Speaker. Councillor Sabati SA present.
Councillor Suwali.
Sorry, Speaker. Councillor Mudiba T, she's struggling to connect.
Councillor Mudiba who?
T. Mudiwa Tavita, Councillor Mudiwa Tavita of EFF. Struggling to connect.
Noted, Councillor Mutapo. Councillor Shibambu, KB.
Councillor Shibambu, KB, present. Speaker.
Councillor Sibabu, NA.
Councillor Mudiwa, MD, present, Madam Speaker.
Councillor Mudiwa, thank you, Councillor Mudiwa. Madam Speaker, can you give us 2 minutes to count members?
Madam Speaker, my hand is up.
Councillor Rapetwa is present.
I just want to
Councillor Hine present.
And Councillor
Councillor Rapetwa and also Councillor Hine.
Okay, Councillor Knox is struggling to connect.
Councillor Knox and Councillor Mudiwa, we will mark them when they connect.
Knox. Okay.
Yes, Councillor Max and Councillor Mudiwa T will mark them present when they connect.
Then there's a clarity seeking question, please.
Councillor noted.
The clarity seeking question is, during the previous council, the executive mayor indicated that we will not be making use of the roll call anymore. I just wanted to know, are we going to continue with the roll call and not listen to what the executive mayor said, or is it still in the pipeline? Thank you.
Councillor Hine present.
Councillor Malupi present.
Councillor Rapila present here. Councillor Rapila.
Thank you, Councillor Rapila.
Councillor Mudiwa present here.
Councillor Mudiwa.
Councillor Mudiwa present, Speaker.
Thank you.
Councillor Malupi present.
You are noted, Councillor Malupi.
Councillor Mudiwa present.
You are marked present. Councillor Mudiwa. Councillor Mudiwa, you are marked present.
Thanks, Speaker.
Councillor Kala present.
Councillor Kala.
Councillor Sibabu present. Speaker, my apology.
Noted, Councillor Sibabu. Secretariat.
Madam Speaker.
Have you noted Councillor Rapetwa?
Yes, I did, Madam Speaker.
Okay, thanks.
So far, we have
and Councillor.
Yes,
and Councillor Hine.
You were marked
we have already
present.
voted you, Councillor Hine. Secretariat.
Madam Speaker, we have 70 members who have connected to the council meeting.
Okay, thank you, Secretariat. This is a properly constituted council meeting. And I take this opportunity to welcome the Executive Mayor, Chief Whip, members of the Mayoral Committee, Chairperson of Section 79 committees, leaders of the opposition, honorable councillors, acting municipal manager, and all our officials, media, and valued members of the public connected to this meeting. I declare this meeting officially open. Honorable councillors, this council is convened a day after President Cyril Ramaphosa led the national celebration of Freedom Day as South Africa marked 28 years of freedom and democracy under the theme, Consolidate Our Democratic Gains. This National Day honors the masses of South Africa who suffered under and resisted apartheid and faced repression by security forces, death, injury, forced removals, discrimination, and other injuries which the global community classified as a crime against humanity. Freedom Day allows South Africans from all walks of life and background to renew their commitment to the ongoing transformation of our society and to celebrate the country's sovereignty and identity as part of healing the division of the past. Honorable Councillors, we are also fresh from our IDP consultations, and we are now better placed to understand the material conditions that our people find themselves in and the hardship they encounter every day. Our two-day strategic planning session held in the past 2 days have also afforded us an opportunity to reflect our own goals, the reality on the ground in relation to service delivery option that we have in order to achieve our goals based on the reality and the way forward that we need to pursue given the option that we have. Honorable Councillors, we have responsibility to deliver quality services to our people. As a collective, we are called upon to advocate for an accountable municipality that promotes clean governance and deployment of our communities. This call for a change of heart and attitude toward our work. The people of Polokwane have put their trust in us, and we need not fail them. We must continue to embark on programs and projects that respond directly to the harsh realities that our people are subjected to. Our people can never be free while there is a high level of poverty, unemployment, and inequality. Our planning, budget, and implementation of projects must be responsible to this reality, and it is upon us as a collective to commit ourselves to changing the quality of life of the people of Polokwane. With those few words, Honorable Councillors, I take this opportunity to declare the council officially open. Before Secretariat, you can read the items. I've received questions from the DA in my office, so I've referred them to the office of the MM for the relevant department to answer.
Speaker.
Councillor Mutapo.
Thank you very much. I thought maybe you'll also, before we start, Councillor Botha has raised an issue that was raised by the EM in the previous council of the roll call. So I don't know if you can also maybe rule on that one in terms of what needs to happen going forward, because it was raised by the EM to say we are not going to do the roll call, connect with your own gadget, and then what comes out in terms of print, it will actually reflect in terms of who has joined. So I don't know where do we stand with that, because I believe we deliberated on that. So if it was not a council resolution, can we resolve on it now?
Councillor Mutapo, I've already said Councillor Mudibati and Councillor Max, we will mark them present when they've connected using their own gadget. Thank you, Secretariat.
But I think I think you are missing what I'm saying, Speaker. Speaker?
Councillor Mutapo.
I'm talking about, I don't know if maybe
that we will mark Mudibati as they are struggling to connect, and will mark Councillor Max present when they already connected using their own gadgets.
I'm not complaining about that. I'm not talking about that, Speaker. I'm saying in the previous council, the EM suggested to say the issue of reading the roll call, it will be reflected as we are done with the council. It will print to say who connected, because everyone's got their own gadget. So I wanted to raise that. I'm not raising the issue of apologies. I'm just raising the issue of what was the EM suggested, unless if I did not get it correctly what the EM said. But I think that is what Councillor Botha was raising.
I see the hand of Councillor Mokamedi.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I just want to check, as Councillor Mutap and Councillor Water are raising that issue. So I just want to check. In which criteria are we going to know that we are correcting if we are not going to call a roll call? That's what I want to check. Because the roll call primarily for the reason of us calling the roll call is to make sure that we are correcting. So now if you are saying that we are going to work on an issue of a printout, how are we going to know that we are all correcting in terms of connection? Maybe it must be clarified clearly.
Okay, through you, Speaker. Councillor Mokamedi, on your gadget, it will tell you how many people connected. As if you look at your gadget, I think the Secretariat knows how to do that, and Tata Parliament, they know how to. It tells you how many people connected while you are on your screen. Even on your gadget, Councillor Mokamedi, you can do that.
Councillor Mutabo, we are having 81 here connected.
You see, that is the answer to Councillor Mokamedi, not me. So I think that is clarifying him.
Councillor Mutabo, they're also clarifying you, Councillor, Honorable. Because we have asked that question, which was asked by Councillor Water.
Thank you, Councillor Mokamedi. Can see the hand of Councillor Ralph Fatane. Councillor Rapet.
Okay. Thanks very much, Honorable Speaker. Look, in our past council, it is true that the executive mayor indicated that we are taking much time reading names of councillors. As such, he proposed that the office of the speaker must just check on the gadgets or how many councillors have logged in. And they will inform the speaker as to whether we are correcting or not. Then the speaker will announce to the council that the council is correcting, then we are proceeding with the meeting. So I think there is no need for us to fight over this thing. Maybe in the next meeting, the office of the speaker or the secretariat will just count the name of people who have logged in and inform the speaker about the quorum or what. So can we just pass, Honorable Speaker, and continue with the agenda as you have indicated? Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Councillor Ralph Fatane. Secretariat, read the next item, please.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. The next item is application for leave of absence.
Thank you, Secretariat. On my side, I've apology for a standing apology for Mashalani Fikile and also standing apology for Councillor Mashabela Enji. They are on maternity leave. And again, I've got apology from EFF councillors. Councillor Motlhabeng, Councillor Lepalala, Councillor Hopane, Councillor Leballo, Councillor Ratsuma, Councillor Segwali, Councillor Radise. They have community issues to attend to. And then again, I have apology for Councillor Malevana, who is hospitalized, and also Councillor Ramapakela, who is not doing well. Secretariat.
Noted, Madam Speaker. We move to item 3, proposals for condolences or congratulations by the Speaker.
I have nothing on my side. Secretariat.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. The fourth one, proposals of condolences or congratulations by other members.
Next item, Secretariat.
Madam Speaker, can you pardon me? My gadget is giving me problems. Can I get a moment?
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you, Madam Speaker. Item number 5, official announcement.
Nothing on my side, Secretariat.
Item number 6, confirmation of minutes of previous meeting. It is recommended that the minutes of the council meeting held on the 24th March 2022 be approved.
But can councillors move to their mics, Madam Speaker?
What?
Honorable councillors, may you please mute your mic, please? Thank you very much. And in front of you, you are having a set of minutes dated 24 March 2022. I'm going to read page by page. You just do the correctness and confirm if your name have chat correctly. The order of agenda, page 2, page 3, page 4. Councillor Mloto. Councillor Mloto, may you please mute your video, please? Page 4.
Speaker raise hands.
Councillor Max.
Speaker, I just want to confirm that I've managed to log in. If you can mark me present, thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Max. Noted.
Honorable
Page
Speaker,
5.
Mokgotwa TS. Honorable Speaker.
Madam Speaker.
Honorable Speaker.
Who's shouting?
Madam Speaker. Oh, Mokgotwa TS, I was struggling. I've just joined in.
Okay, noted.
Mokgotwa TS.
Thank you, Councillor Mokgotwa.
Madam Speaker,
you,
am I audible?
Who's shouting?
Madam Councillor Mutlapamazi here. Can you hear me?
Yes.
On page 3, ma'am, you are referred on the last paragraph. You referred as a he, and the last time I checked, it's a she.
On my salutation?
Yes, it says he indicated that after 4 waves, it has to be she indicated.
The last line.
The third paragraph, that's...
Okay, thank you, Councillor Mtapamaswi.
Thank you.
Councillor Chochi, can you mute your video, please?
Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, Councillor Dekhali here.
Councillor Dekhali.
Okay, if you can go to page 4 of the minutes. I've marked absent, but I was in a council meeting. Page 4 of the minutes.
Okay, thank you, Secretariat. Are you noting the name Dekhali, Councillor Dekhali, SJ?
Noted, Madam Speaker.
Thank you. Page 5. Page 6. Page 7. Page 8.
Madam Speaker. Councillor Mhlapamasi here. Can you hear me, Madam?
Yes, Councillor Mhlapamasi.
Yeah, I think when we opened this meeting, councillors were complaining about the statement said by the executive mayor as far as the as far as the quorum is concerned. I don't see that statement being captured here. The statement that has been said by the councillors that we need a printout, I don't see it captured here, madam. I thank you.
Councillor Lukman, mute your mic.
Councillor Mtopamaswi.
My leader.
What you are saying, we don't capture the discussion, we capture only resolution.
But I take it was speaking under correction, Madam Speaker, I take it that it was a resolution of a council that that is exactly what is going to happen going forward. Unless I'm lost for words, ma'am.
Speaker.
Executive Mayor. Executive Mayor.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker, Council Chief Whip, and members of the Mayoral Committee and Section 79 Chairperson and fellow colleagues. Thank you very much. Madam Speaker, I think we need to rectify something. I have made a proposal and you have pronounced that proposal after our discussion that is the way forward. And I think the Secretariat need to capture this. Can I be protected, Speaker? Speaker. Speaker. Am I still on the...
Yes, Executive
floor?
Mayor. Continue.
Yes. We've made a proposal. That proposal needed your office to come and give us a report on how far you are in terms of the implementation, not to ignore what we have agreed upon. Firstly, it was the question of ensuring that councillors are familiar with their gadgets. They all have got the necessary equipment, and also that they are trained and they are supported by the IT section of the municipality. Then ensure that we implement that. And if today it was not going to be possible, we were just supposed to give us progress on the implementation of that resolution, because we have agreed in that meeting, Speaker. So I think if it is possible, I mean, if we do not want to argue about something that is not really probably a matter that needs a very, very serious argument. We've got an electronic equipment, which is your laptop or your gadget. If you come into the meeting, it tells us that you are in a meeting from what time to what time. That is the reason why we utilize that electronic session. For us to confirm one by one, unless if a person have come in or he was struggling, he may then request to show to raise a hand and say, look, I struggled a little bit to get into the meeting on time, but now I'm into the meeting. I'm not now part of the meeting. Then we move forward. That is what is happening in other municipalities that are much smaller than Polokwane. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Executive Mayor.
Councillor RD Pot is present. I was struggling with my gadget.
The amendment will be recorded as such, Secretariat. Secretariat.
Madam Speaker, it's copied.
In the next meeting, we need an update of the report. Thank you. We were on page 10, page 11, page 12, page 13, page 14, page 15.
Speaker.
Councillor Jubet, Councillor Puota.
Speaker, there's a couple of councillors who have their hands up. I think it will be difficult for you to run the meeting if their hands stay up, because how will you know we are raising our hands if all the hands are being raised and not taken down when they ask their questions? Otherwise, you'll struggle to get to run this meeting in an orderly fashion. On page 15, it says under action, noted that the Democratic Alliance is not in support of the item, which is true. I just want you to add the reason for that. So just add the words, due to concerns on water challenges affecting Polokwane, please. If they can just add those few words, thank you.
Page 15.
Yes. Is it captured, Speaker?
Can you repeat the line we were saying?
Okay, just after that sentence, that the Democratic Alliance is not in support of the item, comma, due to concerns on water challenges affecting Polokwane. Due to concerns on water challenges affecting Polokwane. You would remember we had a reason why we didn't support the item. It should just be noted accurately. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, Speaker.
Thank you very much. Councillor Puota.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. This is a clarity-seeking question. When we are correcting minutes, where is the control on this correcting of minutes? Because we don't control it in the next meeting. If we can just get clarity on correction of minutes, please.
Councillor Puota. Secretary is noting all the corrections.
Madam Speaker, then may I ask that it be emailed to all the councillors then again for future use, please? Is that possible? Thank you.
The meeting, Councillor Puota, the meeting are recorded for reference purposes. I can see the hand of Executive Mayor. Councillor Rapetwa, your hands is up, and I thought is the old hands.
Thank you very much, Madam. Thank you very much, Madam Speaker. I think if the minutes have been adjusted or corrected, it is only fair that corrected minutes should serve in the next council as a way of control. And the Secretariat, because we don't want to be surprised that the same mistake has been committed in the next council or when we need those minutes for whatever reference point. It is only fair that the Secretariat, if the minutes were corrected, either when you, obviously when you write the minutes for the previous, when you bring the previous or the current minutes, you will have then to stipulate how the minutes of the item on the minutes of the previous meeting were corrected. In that way, you will give us the information that on this matter, on the item on minutes of the previous meeting, the following was corrected. Then we are fine with that. That will form part of the minutes of the current meeting, which will be discussed for corrections in the next meeting. Is it understandable? I hope that it is understandable. The current minutes we're dealing with now, we are correcting. So it means in the next minutes of this meeting, it will reflect the corrections of the previous meeting under the item itself. Confirmation of the minutes of the previous meeting. Under the item, there will then be a section where you are talking about those corrections. Then we know you were correcting the previous meeting. If we were dealing with two sets of meetings, you will mention also the minutes as at date. These are the corrections. The minute as the second set of minutes as the particular date. These are the corrections on specific items as well. And I think that will assist in dealing with what Councillor Botha has raised, which is a genuine concern. Let's make sure that where there have been corrections, when we come back to the next meeting, those corrections are reflected in the new minutes of the previous meeting, which will then be available for correction at that particular meeting. Thanks.
Noted, Executive Mayor. It will be done as such. I can see the hand of Councillor Mutapo Evans.
No, thank you very much, Speaker, for the opportunity. And I really want to concur with the Executive Mayor, but just to top on that one, I think maybe, Speaker, from your side, I think if you can maybe, I don't know if it is possible to have just a small induction for Secretariat, and so that they can, in terms of how to record the resolutions of council and other committees of the municipality, so that we have a standard way of recording minutes, so that we don't go back and waste time in terms of this was supposed to have been done and this was supposed to. So let's have this one as a standard so that they know what to record and what not to record. Thank you very much, Speaker.
Thank you for the advice, Councillor Mutapo. You may lower your hands. We were on page 17, page 18, page 19, page 20 to page 23 is the attendance register. Thank you. Can I have a hand which adopt the minutes? Honorable Councillor Ralph Fatani.
Thanks very much, Madam Speaker. I move for the adoption of the minutes with correction, of course, as a true reflection of what transpired in our last meeting. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Honorable Councillor Ralph Fatani. Councillor Mutfana.
Thanks, Honorable Speaker. I was struggling with my network, but I see here on the minutes they are marked absent, but here on the register I'm present.
Okay, I thought maybe we are seconding the adoption of the minutes. Councillor Mukamedi.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I'm seconding adoption of the minutes as a true reflection with correction as stated. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Councillor Mukamedi. Secretariat, next item.
Thanks once more, Madam Speaker. We move to item 7. Notice of questions.
Madam Speaker.
Councillor Mutlapa Maswi, I see your hand is up.
Okay, thank you very much, Madam Speaker.
And then
it is my submission to this council. It is my submission to this council, Madam Speaker, that I think it would be correct that the Secretariat should be the mover of the adoption of the minutes, instead of us as councillors be the movers of adoption of minutes. And all what we can do is to second what the Secretariat has done. I thank you.
Councillor Gibet.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. On item 7, just a general comment.
Executive Mayor, you are noted. You will speak after Councillor Gibet.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, I just want to make a general comment. You did mention that we submitted written questions, but in general, if we can just perhaps get an acknowledgement when we submit written questions or motions, and then with that confirmation email, if we can just get a reference number for the relevant written question and motion, whatever the case might be. Because I see we might be having issues where written questions might fall through the cracks. There was a written question submitted by Councillor Marx on the 2nd of March. It was also distributed on the Whippery group. It was an urgent item where it was relating to a payment on a court interdict, or it was a court ruling, which the Polokwane municipality was not adhering to. So it was an urgent item. It has been resolved in the meantime, but just procedurally, I think that written questions should still be submitted in council in the documents, and just a close-up report be issued on that item. So it's a general comment. If we can just get the admin around written questions sorted better. Thank you.
Noted. There's a note coming. Eric Mtapamasi, Councillor Mtapamasi, please mute your mic. Executive Mayor.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker. I just wanted to clarify the issue that was actually raised about the Secretariat. The Speaker, as the Chairperson of Council, have got a support, and that support comes in the form of Secretariat. So you cannot separate the Speaker who is chairing the meeting and the Secretariat. They are part and parcel of the support that make sure that the issues that get resolved on or that are raised are fully recorded, and other staff, support staff. So Secretariat will not participate, are not necessarily active participants in the council meeting. What happened is that whether there are minutes, we as councillors are the ones that are supposed, after satisfying ourselves, correcting whatever, making whatever correction, we are supposed to move as to whether there's anybody amongst us who feel that we should adopt the minutes. So I just wanted to clarify that the Secretariat will not be able to move while they are recording minutes, and they are record keepers of the minutes. Their work is to support the Speaker, and the Speaker cannot move, as chairing, cannot move for the adoption of those minutes. So I think it's procedural that the members of council take responsibility to move if they are satisfied that the records that they are given is a true reflection of the the previous meeting. They are the ones that will move. If we do not agree, there are certain further changes that need to be effected up until the principle that apply in any meeting is applied, that council agree to adopt those minutes. So I wanted just to clarify. Thank you very much, Speaker.
Thank you very much, Executive Mayor. And the minutes are adopted with their correction as a true reflection of what transpired. Secretariat, next item, please.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. We move to item 7, notice of questions and relevant answers.
Nothing, Secretariat.
Item 8. Item number 8, Madam Speaker. Motions deferred.
None. Next item.
Item 9, petitions.
None.
Speaker.
Next item. Councillor Marx.
Speaker. Thank you, Speaker. On the motions deferred, I'm not sure if I'm maybe jumping the gun, but on the written questions, as Councillor Hubert indicated, there was 2 written questions that I've submitted. One was in March and the other was somewhere last week. Is it possible that we can at least minute that those questions were received but not yet answered, so that there's a record that they are in your system and they will be in the next council, if that is possible, just for record purposes, please?
Noted, Councillor Marx. Secretariat. Next item.
Item 10, notice of motions and relevant answers.
None. Next item.
Item 11, Madam Speaker, report of the Executive Mayor, Section A, recommendations of Mayoral Committee to Council. Item number 1, financial report for the period ended 31st March 2022. It starts on page 2.
Secretariat, before that, I just want to rectify on item agenda item number 4, extension of the appointment of acting director roads and transportation services to be referred back, and also item number 7, Polokwane municipality establishment of ward committees to also be referred back. We are going to deal with item 1, 2, 3, 5, and 6. Thank you, Secretariat. You can read the next item.
Noted, Madam Speaker, as we were on item 1, which is financial report for the period ended 31st March 2022. It starts on page 2, Madam Speaker.
Thank you, Secretariat. Councillor Mutapo.
No, thank you very much, Speaker. I'm not going to be long. I just want to show the concern on page number 7. In terms of the way we spend the grants that we get from National Treasury. So the PTNG there and the YSIC, I believe that colleagues in the administration, they are aware of this. I'm just actually relating that so that it actually is put on record on council, because my worry is that in terms of PTNG, we need some action. We need them to spend. I think they are aware of that. Acting Director Ramakwakwa, I think we spoke about that lengthily. I thought maybe I just reiterate that. And then also the neighborhood and then water service infrastructure waste 35%. So we're not spending that. But my worry is that because we are almost in the last lap of the financial year, I'm worried if we are going to spend whatever we have planned for this period. So I'm just worried because we keep on, we having money that is going to be returned to National Treasury. So we cannot be relying on having rollovers and things like that. So I think in future, we can plan better. But I think the resolution of Boss Berardi, the strategic planning that we had, I think touched on a lot of issues. So I just thought that I highlight that, Madam Speaker. And then also the issue of overtime. I thought I should just deal with that as well. I think we also dealt with it at Boss Berardi, and I think that matter will be resolved. But now I also want to ask in terms of, I heard that there must be a reviewed overtime policy. So I don't know how far is that? When is it going to be serving in council? Because now the one that they're using now, I think it needs to be revised, if I'm not mistaken. So in terms of the clarification, in terms of when can it serve in council? Thank you very much, Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Councillor Mutapo. Councillor Jubet.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. On page 8, it's regarding the debtors. It was discussed at the strategic planning meeting with regards to the public participation that's going to happen in Mankweng. I'm quite happy and I acknowledge what was said there. So I'm happy that the public participation will be finalized by the end of May. And my remark is, if we can perhaps get a report on the process of that public participation and what that entails, because it's a sensitive matter, because there's smart meters that needs to be installed and there's an amount that needs to be written off. If we can just get a close-up report after that public participation has been done, so we can just get Mankweng also paying their fair share. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Councillor Jubet. Honorable Councillor Rapeto.
Thank you very much, Speaker. I cannot agree more with the latter two councillors whom raised the concern on the spending. I think correctly so. We are from a strategic planning session of which we came out with recommendations and resolutions, and we are to meet again next week for finalization. So many of the policy issues, the due date and that are euphoria. So I share the sentiment that perhaps a close-up report after the public participation has been concluded, just to update council on the progress made with regards to
Thank you very much. See the hand of Councillor Nkwe.
Thanks, Speaker. Yeah, the Chief Whip covered beyond the issue of grants performance. Indeed, we had a very successful strategic planning where we talked about issues of expenditure performance, more related to the grant performances. I'd like to touch on the issue of overtime policy. This term we have not met as the local labor forums because of internal issues of SAMU, but now they are resolved. They are having the new leadership. Next week on the 5th, we'll be having our first local labor forum. Then we'll discuss the issue of overtime policy, and then it will be proceeded to council. Thanks, Speaker.
Thank you very much, Honorable Councillor Nkwe. Secretariat, I can see the hand again of Councillor Mugamedi.
No, thank you, Honorable Speaker. It's fine. Councillor Nkwe has covered me in terms of this overtime policy, which he mentioned it clearly. Because LLF, we didn't see it in LLF, so I was still waiting. So thank you for that, Councillor.
Thank you, Councillor Mugamedi. Secretariat, next item.
Honorable Speaker, I have raised my hand.
I don't see your hand here, Honorable Councillor Kare. But
Is it not visible?
No.
But I've clicked the hand. Can I say what I have?
Yes.
Okay, thank you, Honorable Speaker. Mine is in relation to companies that did not perform well. We have got two in terms of page 7. We have terminated 2 companies because of non-performance, but just currently because of the Treasury moratorium, we are unable to tender for other companies to allow them to come and complete the project as stated in the report. I just wanted to bring council to the attention of it.
Thank you, Honorable Councillor. Read the next item, please.
Madam Speaker, the second item, special adjustment budget for 2021-2022 financial year. It leads us to page 82.
Next item.
Next item, extension on the appointment.
Speaker.
Honorable Councillor Mutapo.
Yeah, I think maybe my hand was too slow. Maybe it's the gadget. Yeah, Speaker, thank you very much for the opportunity. I just want to raise these things. I think it's important. This platform is the right platform to raise, but without wasting any time. On page 84, I see there is the reduction of funds there, especially on WISIC. Yes, we understand the challenges that might be, but when we were told during the joint portfolio was that there was something that the directorate was not complying with. So we need to be clarified in terms of how far are they with that, because I think we need to have answers, because we cannot just have a rejection without any apparent reason. So that will lead to this money going back to National Treasury. So we need to be clarified in terms of, or maybe Council be clarified in terms of why the reduction, because water is a very scarce commodity. Our people need water, and we know that is one of the things that people highlighted during the public participation in terms of the IDP. That was page 84. On page 86, we have since requested during the point portfolio, or in terms of the date of the auction of those minibus taxis, in terms of when was the auction. So I don't know if maybe can be supplied with the date when the auction took place. And going to page 168, there is a refurbishment of Mike's kitchen building, which has been allocated a budget of 3.5 million. Maybe, I don't know, the plan did not come clear to us during the point portfolio in terms of, what is the plan with Mike's kitchen? What must happen there? What is going to happen there? If maybe it can be clarified in that regard, so that we are on the same footing with the administration, so we can actually give support where it's needed. And then on page 177, I understand this is a special adjustment budget, but I'm just saying, maybe in future when we do these things, let's at least get some specifics in terms of what needs to happen, or what is happening, why are we adjusting, and things like that. And then it talks about the fencing of municipal parks, which is a good thing, but I don't see anything to do with, we got parks, but if you look at our parks, they don't have parkings. People go to parks, it ends up causing a stampede on our roads surrounding those parks that we are having. Yes, we fence them, which is a good thing to protect the infrastructure or the facility of the municipality. But now, I don't see a plan coming forward. Or is there any plan for parking when people go to our parks, so that they can actually maybe, have a proper parking, so that we don't have unnecessary accidents? And then the other one is on the development of regional parks and in rural areas. My question here is that this thing has been spoken about, and I'm happy the executive mayor said during Boss Beragi to say, we are not going to talk about what happened in the past. Here we're focusing in terms of what needs to happen in future. That's why, in terms of the action plans that the directors were giving, they were giving in terms of specific, in terms of growth. What is it that needs to happen? Way forward. So in terms of when is this going to happen? Because I can see there is a 369,000 that has been planned for 23-24 financial year. I think this must be for planning and for the start. But now, when it will be the actual implementation of this, we don't want to finish this council and you find that, there's nothing that has actually happened. So we need at least to see one park that has been implemented in any rural area. It's fine. And the next council will take the baton from there. So I think that will actually help us a great deal. And then on page 178, I'm always going to raise this issue of a rural transfer station. I think the acting MM is aware of this. I just feel that I need to actually just raise it with council so that it gets recorded. The issue of rural transfer stations, I'm not going to be specific. We lamented on this lengthily so I thought maybe I should just actually highlight it. And also on the issue of waste management, the issue of sweepers. When we were at Boss Beragi, we were told that the sweepers that we are having, the sweepers that are cleaning the street at night, those machines, that's a sweep on their own and they collect on their own. They are rented, or maybe that is a sort of outsourced. So I'm just checking if maybe is there any plan from the municipality to say, can we have our own? Because I believe that anything outsourced becomes expensive. Can't we have our own? And how long is this? When is this contract of theirs ending? Is there any plan of having our own sweepers so that at least we can save a bit of cents that we can actually use in the other areas of where they're needed? And then on page 180, yes, I am aware of the issue of fleet, and I think it's something that we've touched on. I know it's going to come in the coming financial. I thought maybe I should just raise it as well to say I don't see the yellow fleet here, which is the basic machinery for service delivery. I think in future, can we be, at least when we start with these things, then let's include that so that our people see that we are really concerned and maybe we are actually doing our bit to ensure that, the issues that people are raising during the IDP and the consultations are taken to head, and they are there. Because remember, this is joint, and then the people from outside are connecting on this meeting. If we don't talk about these issues, it becomes an issue to say, why are we sending councillors to council, whereas they cannot actually fight for the plight of the people? And then on the issue of, but I think this item you said we must actually defer them. I won't talk about it. It's because of the one for no, I think this is what is for water, director for water. I don't know if I've jumped the gun. I just want to check how far is the investing. That's page 207. I don't know if I've jumped the gun.
Yes, you are, Councillor Mutapa.
I'm in order, ne?
No, you are not in order.
Oh, okay, because it said from page 82. Yeah, no, I think I've jumped the gun. Sorry about that. Thank you very much, Speaker.
Thank you very much. Councillor Rapeto.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. And let me appreciate the time previously I haven't greeted members of council. Let me correct that. A very good morning to members of council, the executive mayor, and Honorable Speaker. I think in principle, we need to agree the purpose of this adjustment because we are going to the end of the financial year, or even the special budget adjustment to say where we see that indeed we cannot spend up until 30 June. We need to refocus the budget where we can be able to spend in this remaining quarter of the year. So I think that is the purpose. And in terms of the acquisitions of Yellow Fleet, which is quite paramount, agreeing with Councillor Mutapa. But in our new budget, the draft budget that we have approved in this council, we have made provisions for that Yellow Fleet to be procured. Although the financial position of the municipality do not allow us to buy like we want enough, but in piecemeal, every financial year, I think such provisions will be made. Honorable Speaker, I just want us to align ourselves with the principle on why are we adjusting, so that we do not waste time in saying let us budget for what, because we're still having an item on the budget which will come to this very same council for approval after the public comments, of which we've been able to garner. I think the item on the new budget for the new financial year is still coming to council. For now, let us deal with realigning the funds where we can be able to spend for this remaining months of this particular last quarter. Thanks very much, Honorable Speaker. I'm for the recommendations on this particular budget adjustment.
Thank you very much, Councillor Rapetwa. I can see the hand of Councillor Sibabu. Councillor
Thank
Maria.
you very much.
No, wait a minute. Councillor Pretorius first, and then you'll follow, and then after Councillor Ngwe. In that order, please.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
It's you, Councillor Mutapamas.
Am I protected, Madam Speaker?
Yes, continue.
Thank you. I just want to say part of Annexure A, which is the budget tables, lots of those tables are printed in a very sort of unreadable manner. Page 126 to 130 and also page 144 to 165. It's very difficult to read those tables, and I think we have spoken about this at the previous meeting as well. So if the printing section can please just look at that situation. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Councillor Pretorius. Councillor Nomonde Shibabu.
Thank you, Speaker, and greetings to the meeting. No, I wanted to second the submission or the recommendation as seconded by Councillor Chief Whip to say we are still on the adjustment and all issues that have been tabled by communities. Indeed, I think they have been tried to be considered in the new IDP. I wanted to get into that, Speaker, to say we are still on the adjustment part of it, which I think Councillor Mutapo was raising issues of communities. So they will fall within the space of the IDP as in when it's going to be presented. And indeed, those issues we have checked, they've tried to cover almost, not everything, but almost everything that was raised by the community. I think is tried to be covered on the IDP. So I therefore second the seconder of Chief Whip. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Councillor Shibabu. Councillor Mutapamansi. Councillor Ngwe will be the last one to speak to this item. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker. As much as I understand what the Chief Whip elaborated as far as the reductions are concerned, and well, I agree with him. But at the same time, we are a new council that must bring new change and new developments in the municipality. That is why we've been put in office. And for that matter, I think we need to come up with a position whereby all those people who failed to spend, there has to be consequence management on their behalf, so on them, because we cannot just encourage people not to spend the money that was supposed to spend. So whereas I agree with all those things, we must outline as a council and come up with a position on consequence management so that the people who fail to spend in the municipality, they should know that we are not going to stand by them. Communities need services, and for that matter, we cannot fail to spend money for the communities. I thank you so much.
Thank you, Honorable Councillor Mutapamaswi. Councillor Ngwe.
Thanks, Speaker of Council. Speaker, I'd like to mention that the MFA Section 31 clearly it gives us reasons why we must be allowed to shift funds between multi-year, and also in line with the budget regulations. Whenever there is a national budget adjustment, we have to go to council within 60 days for approval. So we are in line, we are in compliance, Speaker. Thanks.
Thanks very much, Honorable Councillor Ngwe. Secretariat, next item.
Madam Speaker, we move to the third item, extension on the appointment for Acting Director, Water and Sanitation, Ms. Dorcas Shai. It's on page 207.
Councillor Shibabu, Councillor Ngwe, Councillor Mutapamaswi, may you please lower your hands? Okay, I can see the hand of Councillor Mutapo. And also...
So can I show?
Yes.
Thank you very much. Speaker, my question was on this one, just to check in terms of how far...
Councillor Rapetwa, you will follow after Councillor Mutapo. Thank you.
Yeah, I just want to check in terms of how far, in terms of the investigation of the suspension of the former director, how far is this case, and then when are we anticipating to conclude it? Thank you very much, Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Councillor Mutapo. Councillor Mama.
Yeah, thank you, Honorable Speaker. Greeting to the Executive Mayor and members of Council. Yeah, I'm just saying I'm supporting these recommendations as they are, that we appoint May Shai as the Acting Director. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Honorable Councillor Mamabulo, Councillor Rapetwa, and also Councillor Shibabu. You will follow and after Councillor Rapetwa.
Thanks once again, Honorable Speaker. I want to second MMC Mabolo, but then to say that that council approves the extension of act. That council approves retrospectively the extension of acting for this particular director. It means then recommendation number 1 should include the words retrospectively, because we are dealing with a past event. So I think the word retrospectively will be necessary for the recommendation to make sense. Meaning recommendation number 1, that council retrospectively approves the extension of AT be for a period not exceeding 3 months. I hope Secretariat has been able to capture that. In terms of how far it's the investigations or the criminal proceedings or whatever, that makes sense coming from Councillor Motap. I think in this council we have agreed when we took a decision to suspend the director on those particular allegations, and we have agreed that an update report with regards to that matter come to council. And I think as in when there is an update, it will be made available to this particular council upon availability. So unless if there is a particular update coming from the executive mayor that perhaps may want to address council, but I believe we have taken a principled decision that with regards to an update, when available, it should serve in this particular council. Let's take it to that as in when the update is not in this council, it means there is still in process and an update will come to serve. It is not for the first time we have been having an update on that particular matter. If it is not in this council, it means processes are still underway and an update will come. Let us take it in that spirit, Honorable Speaker. Thanks very much.
Thank you very much, Honorable Councillor Rapetswa. Councillor Shibabu.
Thank you very much, Speaker. No, I wanted to second exactly Councillor Motap, because the item, Speaker, is the issue that we approve the acting appointment. And he did not say no or yes on it. He just wanted an additional information. It means he was in agreement with the item. I think I was standing to say we are seconding that the item be approved, and the item that he's speaking to, as soon as that item becomes an item for discussion, as Speaker, it will be discussed. I'm just saying we need not to be caught in discussing issues that are not the item that it is presented. I was worried, Chief Whip, Speaker, that if there is an item at hand, somebody take an opportunity and raise another item, which is not the item that we are discussing. But we are seconding that the item be appointed. Thank you.
Point of order, Speaker.
What is the point of order for?
I think the council is misleading council. I think the very same item that we are talking about of extension of Mashai, they live under the same roof with the question that I've raised. The reason why we are extending is because we are having an issue on hand of an investigation that is ongoing. So this is not an issue on top of the issue. They live together, these two issues. The reason why we're extending is because we have not finalized a particular matter that led to us to have an acting position. So I think the councillor must not mislead the council. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. The update report will serve in council. And on the recommendation, Secretariat, I thought you have captured that council retrospectively approves.
It's noted, Madam Speaker.
Thank you very much. Next item.
Madam Speaker, we move to Volume 2, Section A items, recommendations of the Mayoral Committee for Council Resolution. Item number 5, appointment report for the positions of APEC members on page 213.
Thank you, Secretariat. I can see the hand of Councillor Jubet.
Thank you, Speaker. Don't have an issue with the item. We welcome the appointments. Hopefully these appointed persons will assist us to get to an unqualified audit. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Councillor Jubet. Councillor Mutapamasi, Councillor Mutapu will follow. Councillor Mutapamasi.
As there is consent. So, because if we are saying all qualifications are being submitted and then we say accept, then it's a contradiction. So, then we have a problem with Ngobeni because all his documents are not submitted. There is one pending SAICA qualification, that membership that has to be submitted to us. I thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Mutapo. Councillor
thank you, Speaker.
Shibabu will follow.
I think the two letters
want to talk to this item. You may continue, Councillor Mutapo.
Thank you very much. Yeah, I think, Speaker, the latter two speakers are in order. I fully agree and concur 100% with what they've just, if we can be sort of clarified on what Councillor Mutapo is saying. But also, just to add on that, it's just a comment, Speaker, to say we had 5 consecutive qualified audits, and we want to believe that the texture is going to change, and this municipality is going to have value for money on the apex members that we are going to have this time around. That's all I wanted to comment on. Thank you very much, Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Councillor Mutapo. Councillor Shibabu. Oh, Councillor Mutapamasi.
No, my hand is lowered, babe.
Okay, thank you very much, Councillor Rapezo.
Thanks once again, Speaker. Let me share in the thoughts and sentiments of other councillors who have said we hope that this particular team of APEC will assist the institution in moving from the current audit opinion to a much more improved opinion, that of an unqualified, with the hope of going to a clean audit. On the issue of outstanding qualifications, I think SAICA membership is not a requirement to form part of the APEC members. I think it is an added advantage in terms of the qualifications. What we need qualifications with regards to auditing, and as I see, all the potential members are having audit qualifications. That is what is important in terms of being part of APEC. I believe in order to approve this particular team of APEC with the that will move the institution forward in terms of a much more improved opinion. Thanks very much.
Thank you, Honorable Councillor Rapizwa. Secretariat.
Madam Speaker, we move to item 6, MPEC third quarter operational report 2021/2022 financial year, page 271.
Honorable Councillor Jubet.
Thank you, Speaker. Couple of things I want to raise. I'm a bit worried about the recommendations on this report, that it doesn't have enough teeth or biting power, if I can call it like that. On page 277, I'll quickly run through the recommendations. On recommendation 1, it's fine. 2 is fine. On recommendation 3, that a cost analysis be done prior to implementation of the shift system. Now, this is a worrying factor. I understand the logic about this, but this is something that could have been done ages ago. I remember raising the question with the previous EM, and that shift system was promised to be implemented in the next financial year at that stage, which is the one that was passed previously. So we're supposed to have been hitting the ground running on the shift system already. And it seems like the issue has not been sorted with the labor, with LLF, and also the 40% issue has not been raised with LLF. Also then on recommendation 4, managers must ensure that overtime is applied in terms. It's very vague. My question here is, who's responsible for monitoring these systems on overtime? Is it each directorate, each manager, or is it subordinated to sub-managers? Because this doesn't talk to who's responsible and who's going to be held liable for the overpayment of these expenses. I understand we're trying to go towards the shift system, which is good, but there's no one being held liable for not implementing a shift system or not generating a shift system to be implemented. With recommendation 6, I'm fine. On the next page 278, recommendation 7. In the event whereby the same discrepancies and omissions are repeated, consequence management be applied. What does that mean? It's a phrase we throw around, consequence management, but what does it mean? There's a policy. I also think it's stuck at LLF level, but even that document, I expect of a responsibility to directors, etc. It's a worrying. I'm not sure if this recommendations will assist. So my recommendation is to add a recommendation that the shift system be implemented as a matter of urgency, and a full report with clear timelines and persons responsible be submitted in the next council meeting. I will, if this is approved, I can forward the exact wording to the Secretariat. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Councillor Jubet. You can see the hand of Councillor Mutapo Evans. Councillor Rapetswa, you'll follow. Okay.
No, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
I recognize your hands. You'll be the last one to talk to this. Thank you.
No, thanks, Speaker. Speaker?
I said you may continue.
Thank you very much. Yeah, Speaker. Yeah, I think just to add on what Councillor Jubet was saying, yeah, we can see and let's appreciate the report, but I think we have an opportunity to improve in terms of, you know, the way we draft this report in terms of coming to council, because we need to also have specifics. Because if I look at this, is this a very generic report that we get? It's not specified, and then it leaves a vacuum so that we can be able to ask questions and so why this, why that, why do you do that? And we expect a lot from MPEC, let alone having teeth or not. But I think to come to us with the specifics to say, for example, employee earning above threshold paid overtime money. Somebody worked 8 hours but was paid for 12 hours. I mean, which SBU is that? So I mean, we need to be specific so that we know when we go and deal with the matter, then we know where we must point our fingers. But this is so generic. I think in future and at the time, when are we going to be able to recover that money, like what Councillor Jubet just said? The time frame, when are we going to be able to recover that money? And then for those who are in breach, who are in contravention, what should happen to them? Because we can't just say consequence management. That's why, because there's no specifics. So they can't tell us what must happen to. And Executive Mayor pointed this out to say, you are the overseer or you oversee a particular director or whatever. You must also account because you are the boss there. So I think we need to get into a habit of pointing to the right direction, unlike being all over and just being general or generic. So please, I think in future they can do better. I think it's an opportunity, but let's appreciate the report. But I think Councillor Jubet has covered me on some of the issues. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Executive Mayor.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker and fellow colleagues. I think let us agree that what Councillor Joubert, the input should be included as part of the resolutions. But let's also outline that then direct the executive, which is the executive mayor, mayoral committee, as well as the accounting officer, to develop a clear program with the timelines for the implementation of the shift system. And I think in terms of that, we should be able to be agreeing. I think I'm agreeing that we should, because of the magnitude of the problem, we should be more direct and more specific. And also the timelines will also include consultation with the labor unions, of course, within the LLF mechanism. It might not be that the committee would deal with the issues related to LLF, but I believe that for us in the executive, we need to develop that program and make sure that in the next council, with timelines, we're able to report and say this is what we're going to do, moving towards the implementation of the shift system. Thank you very much, Madam Speaker.
Thank you very much, Executive Mayor. I can see the hand of Councillor Mtapamaswi. And
Thank you, my leader.
Honorable Councillor Mwasheng, you follow Councillor Mtapamaswi.
Yeah, thank you very much, Madam Speaker. I concur with the Executive Mayor inputs, and I therefore accept the recommendations and say let there be the resolutions of council. But then we will need to clarify on improving the monitoring of overtime. I think there has to be a system whereby it has to be brought to our attention and whereby we can see if indeed there's an improvement. Because just to leave it as an empty as it is, then it is not going to serve any purpose. I therefore move that we should adopt these recommendations as a resolutions of council. I thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Councillor Mtapamaswi. Councillor Mwasheng.
Thank you very much, Speaker. On the issue of Councillor Mtapo, had you gone through the documents thoroughly? There is a clause where we said, in order to protect the identity of the employees, a detailed review report in the internal audit with the detailed findings, including details of employees, their SBUs, and the amount paid will be given to party leaders upon their request. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Honorable Councillor Mwasheng. The recommendation are supported.
Speaker, our heads are up.
Councillor Mtapo, you have already spoken on this matter.
Yeah, but isn't it that we need to be allowed to say, because there was a comment made by the chairperson, maybe I agree we are here to assist each other and assist the municipality.
Okay.
So yes, if maybe I can just be allowed to I won't be long, but I agree with what the chairman is saying, the chairperson is saying. I'm not saying they must mention the name, at least the SBU. So no name. So I'm just trying to say, if at least they mention the SBU, we don't have issues.
We are no more audible. Councillor Mtapo. It seems we have lost Councillor Mtapo. I'm now going to take the hand of Councillor Rapeto.
Thanks very much, Madam Speaker. I think we are agreeing with the recommendations with the inclusion of that particular recommendation on the implementation of the shift system, and the executive member further gave what that would mean in terms of mandate to the executive in terms of the implementation of that particular system. And I think as part of what the executive mayor has said, I want to say that perhaps an update be given to council on the implementation of that system, because I want to believe there must be this and that coming from the LLFs in terms of resolutions, in terms of up until that particular system gets in place. So an update in this council with that effect will be much appreciated. Let's agree with the recommendations with that particular. Thanks very much, Madam Speaker.
Thank you very much, Honorable Councillor Rapeto. Executive Mayor, is the old hand or the new one?
No, I'm covered, Madam Speaker. So I think I'm covered on what the Chief Whip have just said. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Executive Mayor. We support the recommendation and with the inclusion of the recommendation of Councillor Jubet. Secretariat, next item, please.
Madam Speaker, that was the last item for the day. We now move to the announcements.
I don't have on my site.
We also don't have any announcement from Secretariat. We move to closure.
Okay, thank you very much, Secretariat. That concludes the business of the day. The council is. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Enjoy your day.
Have a nice day.